Wait, what? Do you have food in your hands?
I do.
What are you eating?
Just a little snack.
What is it, though? It looks like a pierogi.
It
are
is
you eating
pierogi.
a pierogi with your bare hands?
Yeah.
Is it hot?
Yeah,
How are you holding it?
Yeah, I'm with my hands. You can see right here.
I do see.
It's
my
baked.
God.
It's not like boiled. It's not like I have boiling water all over my hands, right?
Just because it's been baked doesn't mean whatever.
Yeah, it's way too hot to eat. 100%. Like, no way I'm eating this thing.
Then why did you not say, let's wait an additional 5 minutes so I could finish eating this pierogi? Now I'm going to have to edit out the sounds of you eating on mic, which I did not do last week for the gummy bears that I ate. Cool. We're off to a great start. Ricky is unable to talk because he's breathing steam out of his mouth like a dragon. You see anything good this week? Besides Civil War and this movie?
Well, I don't know if I would call this movie good. Whoa.
Yeah, we'll get into it. We'll get into it.
Outside of that, no, I've been rewatching
Have you seen
Breaking
anything
Bad
this week?
So,
Oh.
I don't know. I got past, like, I'm in the middle of season 2 now. And it's pretty contentious. There's a lot going on, high stakes.
Have you not seen Breaking Bad?
I think I, like, watched it into season 3 while it was coming out, and then a bunch of shit happened with my life, and I just, like, dropped it. And then I just never got back into it, because I was end of high school, right? Not to put a date on it, or like, my age.
I think everybody knows how old you are at this point. I have to ask, do you happen to know anyone on Breaking Bad? Do you happen to know any specific actors who might be on Breaking Bad? You brought this up, not me. Anyway, we'll move on.
No. Wait. Is Jesse Plemons in Breaking Bad?
No. We can't do this, like, for the 5th episode in a row.
No. Who's in Breaking Bad? Who's in Breaking Bad? Who are you going to say is in Breaking Bad?
I'm not going to say anything. I'm not saying anything else.
You already said something.
You're gonna.
Bro!
You have to watch. Just go watch it. You'll finish watching it. You're gonna be, and then you'll be like, oh shit. So, anyway, this is We Want to Watch. My name's Lane.
My name's Ricky. If I don't say "oh shit," then I'm gonna be pissed. All right.
I am just not gonna say anything else. This week we watched Animal House from 1978, directed by John Landis. Actually, we stopped doing a description of what the show is. Do we need to do that?
Yeah, we probably should.
I feel like people know what they're
if we're not going to give a synopsis, right? If we're not going to give like a quick movie synopsis, we have to at least say a little something.
If somebody is coming in on the Animal House episode, like, that's a them problem if they don't know what the premise of the show is.
I feel like just the vast majority of people, maybe not the vast majority, but anyone approaching the pod, it's like inherently hostile towards them to not give them any idea what's going on.
Most podcasts I listen to do not do a recap of what the premise of the show is.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I don't watch podcasts. I don't listen to podcasts. I don't know.
Like, I don't know. I guess, like, are you really clicking on just random podcasts without reading the description? If you're just like being served it up on a platter by
that's the only way I watch podcasts, actually.
Okay. In this show, we talk about movies that we want to watch. Anyway, this week I wanted to watch Animal House for a few different reasons. This was Elaine's frame, and it's okay. That's my take on this movie. Having, the reasons I wanted to watch it, I think it was worth watching, but definitely the worst of the 3 John Landis movies I've seen.
So what are the other two John Landis movies that you've seen?
The 2 that you've seen, which are Blues Brothers and American Werewolf in London. 2 of my favorite movies of all time.
Oh, those were very different from this movie. I did not think they were by the same director. Interesting.
Dog, we literally talked about this last week.
All right, we probably did. You're right.
Do you want? I'm gonna cut in right here. Future Lane, cut in the clip from last week's audio of us talking about this movie. Yeah. So this was his first, I'd say, big breakthrough movie. And I think you can tell.
Did this
derogatory.
the National Lampoon Vacation movies? Is that this guy?
No.
No? Okay.
So this movie was written by like a National Lampoon writer, but it's like a separate franchise
Okay.
with all kinds of
I don't
different
know why
writers.
I
so
thought it was. Oh, it says National Lampoon's Animal
it
House.
is a
That's why.
National
Okay, yeah.
Lampoon movie.
Right.
Yeah, but it's not by it's not the same. They're all in a shared creator verse, but
Right.
they're not the same.
The National
writers or
Lampoon
anything.
universe, right? Cinematic universe.
Yeah. Thank you. I couldn't say it fast enough. But yeah, so I mean, I forced you to watch both of those movies, Blues Brothers and American Werewolf.
I like them a lot more than
rightfully
this
so.
one.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I think you're right too.
Okay, cool. All right. This movie, it wasn't funny. Like, was the humor different back then? Like,
I think there were some things in this that made me laugh.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, a lot of it's really sexist and kind of racist and weird and just gross out. So,
but even the
I think
stuff
it's
that
natural to
wasn't,
not-
like, the bits were just bad, right? Like, I don't know.
I guess some of it got me.
Okay. I like them playing golf and trying to hit the guy with like the metal tin cap. Like, I don't know if that's supposed to be like an uproariously funny scene. Like, I feel like some of these were supposed to be like big laughs, and I was like
Totally.
pitching them, like.
Yeah. Well, like, I mean, just as I do think this type of humor just hasn't aged well in general. Like
Right.
the like fratty, whatever. I mean, and this is a genre that I think this is pretty much the first one, but this is a genre that has lasted for like basically 2.5 decades, like through the mid 2000s. I think this is a really influential movie in that way. I know we've talked about, I don't love studio comedies, like big, whatever, Will Ferrell type kind of deals. There's a
Fair.
lot, like old school. There's like a lot, I think, that's been influenced by this one. And so a lot of it is just grating because you've seen it done a million times. But some of it's still funny because of the editing and because there's talent involved, even though the subject matter itself is kind of tired, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I laughed a couple of times, but like it just wasn't like.
No, there were long stretches of not funny.
Right.
like,
Like that, and also like I don't know, like the movie premise itself is not very funny, at least to me, right? I don't know, like join a frat house. It's the shitty frat house. Ooh, like
yeah, I think this movie's best when it's playing into the anti-authoritarian kind of aspect, like the,
Right.
like we're fighting back like against the establishment. Like I think that is when it sings kind of in the same way that the Blues Brothers does.
Mhm.
But when it's just like, aren't these dudes disgusting? Isn't
Right.
it funny to have boobs on screen? like
Right.
those things aren't, they just don't.
like them doing the like appeal, and like it wasn't a courtroom, but it was like the schools.
Yeah, it tried to be.
Yeah. Like that was funny, the way they sort of like petition against that, like the little speech,
Yeah.
yada yada. I don't know, like the kid shooting the horse scene.
Okay.
Was that
I marked that one to talk about too.
was that supposed to be funny? I don't know. That just wasn't like, it didn't hit for me. I was like, oh right, okay,
Well-
this is just like dumb obvious what's going to happen. And I was like, all right, like, and then like I don't know.
It was funny though. Okay.
Was
Okay.
it?
Since we're just gonna,
What's going
this is
on?
gonna be the type of movie that we like jump all over the place on.
Yeah.
Um,
If you have notes, let's follow those, because I'm just spitballing.
I do.
here.
I have notes.
Okay.
But yeah, I thought that like when he pulls out the gun, I practically went like at the movie. I was like, is this real? And then after like the horse, when he shoots the gun with the blank and the horse drops dead of a heart attack.
Yeah.
And it does the like freeze frame. You know what I'm talking? It like freezes on the horse going like for a second.
Yeah, that
It's
got
just
you.
really bizarre. Yeah, it did. It did. I mean, the act of the horse being shot isn't funny, but just like the reaction and like the freeze frame and all of that. And then in the next scene, when the guy takes the chainsaw to it, or like he's about to take a chainsaw and that you hear the sound. it was funny. Just the absurdity of it, I guess, is funnier than like the
Yeah.
shock value.
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah. I mean, the chainsaw bit was kind of funny. I don't know, just like it's just I don't know. It's so I feel like maybe I've seen too much absurdist humor, but this was just like it was like all right, like great guys,
Yeah.
like I don't know.
Yeah.
And maybe
I think.
maybe it is because of its age,
Go ahead.
but like a lot of the movie did feel like that to me, where I was like all right, like yeah, like I guess
Yeah.
that's a funny bit. I don't know, like
Well, part of why it's aged so poorly is because fraternities are so kind of out of favor,
right,
like
right.
culturally. You know, it's like when trying to contrast like the like preppy fratty fuck universe or fraternity versus like the shithouse fraternity. Like those are the same thing. Like they're
Right.
you know what I mean?
Right,
Like
right.
they're really not. Well, at one point the guy's like, God knows that they've molested women, and it's like actually they all like no, it doesn't strike anywhere because you're like, oh, all these guys are terrible about women. Like
Yeah.
the two dudes
Yeah.
in the beginning, when they first go to pledge at the like preppy house, it's like why those two guys would get in no problem to any frat nowadays. Like you look at them
Right.
and you're like,
Oh,
these
yeah.
are just two normal dudes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But back in the day, they're supposed to be like, it's like, oh, you're fat and like short. Like I guess is
Yeah.
what they're like, or nerdy, dorky. And so the whole movie's premise is just like doesn't hit today. But I bet back in the day it fucking tore up. You know?
I so like watching it now, like that sort of feels like them like setting the tone because like it's like oh hey
Yeah.
like understand that like this is like what they're rebelling against, like this is like the preppy
Right.
fucking dorm whatever uh frat, sorry, I couldn't even think of the word, but it's like I don't know, it just felt so, I mean their depiction of them and like okay, all right, I will say I did think sorry, this is dumb. I did think one of the scenes was funny with the one preppy frat guy who like had to like deal with the Omega frat or whatever. And like every scene with his girlfriend, she's just like leaning over in the car and she's like,
Oh.
"Is it supposed to be this soft?" And he's like, maybe a little bit faster. Let's go faster with it." Like it's just like
No, okay. The part that made me burst the hardest laugh in this movie is when she's like, if you're not into it, then fine. And she pulls up and she's wearing the rubber gloves and she takes the rubber gloves off.
I will say like
That-
some of their bits like yeah.
Yeah.
Especially because
lot
like
of,
there's a good payoff because you see it like 3 maybe 4 times and then like the last one it's like all right,
Yeah.
well, great.
And I think a lot of the like I don't think this movie is particularly well written. I mean, there's a
Right.
couple
Oh
of
God, no.
jokes.
Right. Not the.
But I do, and not to like suck John Landis's dick or anything because he is a terrible guy, but like
Yeah.
I do think you see the kind of seeds of his like humorous editing style in this movie. Like you see it start to, be built out here, and that really contributes to like I think the funniest parts of the movie are because of the editing. So like
Yeah.
that, like after she takes the gloves off, he starts to be like, "Wait, baby, no," and then it like cuts.
Yeah.
And it's funny to leave it like unexplained, or there's a lot of like reaction shots, like just like people pausing, to react before they react. So there's like a second where they haven't said anything that's just on their face. It's clever and unique, I think, especially to the time. And I mean, it's perfected in Blues Brothers and
Yeah.
American Werewolf. So
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah. Is there anything you would like to reveal about John Landis, the director of this film? What?
You mean like what we talked about last week with him killing a couple of kids and Vic Morrow on the set of one of his
And
movies?
Vig Morrow? That's great. Wait, how did this come
Yeah.
about? Yeah.
He killed 3 people.
Fucked up.
So he filmed the Twilight Zone. So after these 3 movies that we've been talking about that he made, he was directing part of the Twilight Zone movie, which I don't know if you've ever seen that, from the 80s.
I have not.
It's kind of like a comedy horror.
Oh, I think I've heard this.
Yeah, he was filming, so it's like different segments, like it's a whatever anthology film, And so his segment, John Landis's, was like about a Vietnam vet. It's supposed to be like in the jungle, like a guy gets transported back, and so there's like a helicopter scene.
Right.
And he was breaking all kinds of child labor laws, and or at least being like very negligent with them. And the helicopter crashed and gruesomely killed these 3 people. 2 of whom were they were both
kids,
they were kids. I think they were both Vietnamese, little kids,
Sheesh.
6 years old, fucked up. Yeah. And he didn't go to jail or anything like that. He got off. The whole thing is really fucked up.
Wait, no one went to jail for that at all?
No, nobody.
Oh.
Yeah, nope. I think they sued. I think the family sued, but yeah. So I mean, it's nasty, and it really it was symptomatic of a greater kind of issue with movies at the time. I mean, obviously, but it was kind of at the tail end of the auteur, new Hollywood, if you've ever heard of those terms.
Not really, no. But I kind of get what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, there was a lot very director forward,
yeah.
Steven Spielberg and George Lucas, those guys, not even pushing limits, but just they had a lot of control and power over their movies in a way that was very different than movies had been made before, where the studio kind of controlled everything instead of one person. And so it kind of ended that because of the fallout of the child safety issues and things like that, just safety in general on set. So it's, yeah, and he sucks. I mean, John Landis, he fucking should eat shit and die. He's a terrible guy too. He's never apologized for it. He, very self-centered. It didn't even truly ruin his career,
Yeah, I was queuing this up in a much more humorous way than was
sorry,
was warranted. That kind of sucks. I mean, at least something happened recently with Alec Baldwin as well, where he accidentally shot someone, but the armorer on set was charged for that recently, which is
she's going to jail.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So,
which I mean, I guess it's better now in some ways, but
yeah, I mean, shit like that can still happen, but it really shouldn't.
Right.
It's take your job more seriously. You have a higher responsibility than
right. Someone's life is literally in your hands.
Right? Somebody. Yeah. It's sad. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
And yeah, his son is a rapist too.
Oh.
I guess I should say allegedly about these things. Yeah. John Landis' son is a writer, a screenwriter. He's ugly as fuck. Is the first thing that comes to mind. But also, he wrote American Ultra. If you ever heard of that movie with Jesse Eisenberg and Kristen Stewart.
Yeah, I mean, I know.
Or Victor Frankenstein.
No.
How about Bright, the Will Smith movie where it's there's monsters and it's an allegory
I've heard about that. Yep.
Racism.
Yeah. I've heard about that one. That's not a great movie.
Yeah. No, he's not a successful or not a good writer. The apple seems to not fall far from the tree as far as entitled dudes go.
Bright seems like the Last Airbender levels of bad. So.
Probably. Yeah, I've never seen it. I'm avoiding that shit like the plague, but...
Hey, good on you.
Anyway, so that's what the Twilight Zone thing is. John Landis.
Yeah.
Fucked up. Yeah. We were pretty bummed after talking about that. Sorry if it bummed you out too. We took a breather to chat before getting back into the movie, so it's a kind of awkward cut. Sorry about it, but there's nothing for it. Maybe you should go take a breather too.
I don't know. I will say the one peeping Tom scene with what was it? Blute?
I was over that. Bluto.
Bluto.
John
Yeah.
Belushi.
The one humorous part about that is the fact that he takes the ladder and hops it across. Just
that is funny.
The noise that the ladder makes and seeing out of the window and seeing him hop into frame and he's right there and they're all right on the other side.
He's smacking the ladder against the window. It's they're gonna hear it. It's very Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
The physical comedy in this is very Looney Tunes. There's times when they're skipping across the yard and they're they have the do 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 do. Yeah.
I do like those. Those are pretty funny. The way that people get
so good,
thrown around sometimes, you just see people's bodies just flying, and they just enter a scene. I don't know. So like, but again, like these are all things that are like much better in like Blues Brothers and where American Werewolf in London, which it's like, I don't know. Here you can like see the seeds of those, I guess, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's also a lot of like again,
okay.
like there's a lot of really like insensitive scenes, a lot of really like shitty scenes. Overall.
Which, let's talk. Okay, first, did this originate the girls naked at a slumber party having a pillow fight? Is that because Christopher, when I started watching this, he was like, "Oh, this is gonna like." There's a lot of illusions or like pop culture references from this movie, and obviously, I think of like Toga or like the fat, drunk, and stupid line. Like I've heard that before.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, the scene of like, yeah. Like,
I guess so. I mean,
you hear about.
I don't know. Is that like so much a trope in modern media? Like I haven't really seen it anywhere, right?
I think it's a trope.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit of a trope. Yeah. People joking about like
people
is
joke
this what
about
girls
it,
do at slumber parties.
but yeah. But it's like it's joked about, but never like shown. It's like referenced sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Do all references trace back to here? Like, there's no shot, right? Like the cultural staying
think a
power
few of
would
them
be
do.
crazy.
This movie does have a lot of cultural staying power. I mean, like, you know, the like Roman toga party stuff, the college sweatshirts. You still see people wearing those.
Yeah,
Like the sweatshirts that just say college.
The toga party thing didn't catch me. I don't know. Just wasn't nothing there.
That was the only scene in the movie where I was like, maybe frats are good. Maybe I would know if frats are fine.
Actually, the only scene in the movie where I thought that was after the movie, when they were doing the song and like everybody had like a piece to it, and I was like,
yeah.
they care about each other. That's cute. Like, and I never felt that throughout the rest of the movie. I had to wait until the
That's
end,
fair.
and I was like, all right, whatever, man. This could have been a more feel good story, but
Yeah.
but woke, all right. You know what I mean?
Shut up.
God.
No, the scene where they're dancing to "Shout," the song at the party.
Yeah.
I feel like that's good. I feel like I enjoyed watching that. I enjoyed seeing them
some of
just
the-
seemingly party.
Yeah, some of the
Yeah.
dance party scenes, they're not. It's because they're not explicitly predatory during those scenes, right? It's like,
Yeah.
for the most part, just
Yeah.
like guys and gals having fun, and it's like, okay, like cool, I can
Yeah.
get behind this. This is great.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, it too. I hate to keep drawing the comparisons to it, but like it's
Draw 'em
so similar to how the Blues Brothers is shot. It's almost shocking that that song isn't in Blues Brothers.
Blues Brothers, yeah,
like because
yeah.
it's such a, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But like the way it's shot, like the kind of like reactions interspersed with the band, and like the just the use of that scene to kind of propel the mood forward, I guess, is really it's maybe the best scene in the movie, I think, actually. Even though it's so short and doesn't really play into the plot or anything, it really captures the mood. And it contrasts so awkwardly with the scene of them in the club, the black club, when they take the girls there.
Yeah, yeah.
That scene is fucking disgusting and vicious. Yeah, it's awful.
Also-
it's weird. It makes me wonder, like, why. I know John Belushi, the guy who plays Bluto. I know when he paired up with Dan Aykroyd, they shared like a love of blues music or like black music in general, and that's why they started that duo on SNL. But it just like to make a movie like that, which I think is actually pretty progressive, I guess, or like respectful, I want to say, or pays a lot of homage to black musicians, versus this one where they're like making jokes about black people being primitive cultures and like just the outright racism of some of the like way that the men act in that scene. I guess it just
right. And also just
it's like whoa.
Yeah, just like the depiction of like, oh, like it's a huge hulking black guy who like rips the table out. It's like,
Yeah.
oh,
And
yeah,
they're coming for your
okay.
women.
right,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
right. It's like, all right, buddy.
It's
Like,
gross.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which harks to the idea that the original monster movies, right, were a racist depiction, right?
What the? Where did you?
Maybe
pull
this
that
is
from?
too big of a pull. This is probably too far of a pull. I don't know. It's just you were like, oh, like they're going to take our women, but like wasn't that like why they started making monster movies?
Oh.
Or was because they were like, oh,
No,
They
I
couldn't
don't
be
think
like
so. I mean,
blatantly racist in the cinema.
no,
or
they could
something?
definitely still be blatantly fucking racist. Yeah, some of the oldest. Okay, I guess we'll add "Birth of a Fucking Nation" to this podcast and
Is
watch
that one from
list. I'm kidding. We'll never-
1776 or?
No, God, no. Google it after we talk about this. I'm kidding. No, but racism has been present in movies since the beginning of movies, unfortunately. But no, I think monster movies are just because they were cheap and shocking and made money. Like a lot of monster movies were adaptations of novels and things
Okay.
back in the day. There are certainly monster movies that are racist. Like, don't get me wrong. There's definitely some shit in like King Kong that's kind of racist, and like Dracula is all about like the other and Romani people and like all that kind of stuff. But
Right. Okay, my bad. I don't know. I think I heard something about it before, but I don't recall it well enough to be able to actually
Sure.
tell you any details.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's all good. No,
Yeah.
I think it's a valid thing to bring up. Because, yeah, I mean, clear, like you're saying, like having a black guy, like, have a monstrous presence among all of these white people at the table, like, it's gross. And they like, I think they call them the N-word. I couldn't really quite tell.
They do,
but
yeah.
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 It's gross.
Which is like,
Yeah.
also just like, I don't know. Unexpected for the movie, I was like, I mean, I don't know. I guess I just didn't expect it in like a lighthearted film, but I guess it's like
Yeah.
a time period type thing.
Yeah.
Not that like, oh, like you're bound to be, subjected to racism in older movies, but it's like a lot more accepted than, I don't know.
Yeah. It's not as surprising to see.
Right. Right.
It's still disappointing, but yeah. Well, and when Tom Hulce, who is the guy who plays, what is his character's name? Pinto, the kind of like dweeby of the first two guys.
Yeah.
I
didn't keep good
when
track
he
of these
picks up
guys
the-
to the movie, I'll be honest with you.
No, me either. They were very interchangeable, especially
yeah.
like the two leaders of the Delta House. Yeah, I was like Otter and Boone. Like I was like they're interchangeable practically.
Yeah.
But
Where's Boone?
So-
like, I don't remember who that guy is.
we'll talk about the cast in a minute because
Yeah.
there are a bunch of people in this movie. But no, when he first picks up the girl and she's like, "Oh, my parents would like never let me out this late to a frat party." I was like, "Oh, we're setting up a statutory rape joke." Absolutely, like this early, like this will pay off this way. And
Yeah.
lo and behold, I was a little bit happy or like relieved, I guess, when he does not like grope or molest this girl.
Right.
when she's,
Like
passed out.
But the fact that they even play it up like the devil on the shoulder, the angel on the shoulder, they like play it for laugh. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, come on.
Yeah, it's gross. But at least, I mean, Revenge of the Nerds, or like, there's a few 80s comedies that have like pretty much just like date rape as a joke. So it's like, at least this one
Great.
doesn't complete it.
Welcome to the
I did
80s.
laugh when he was fondling her, or like they were like making out,
Mm-hmm.
and he's trying to get her bra off.
It's like locked or something. Yeah, that was good.
that was good. No, okay, so the cast. Did you recognize a lot of people in this movie?
Fuck. All right. Who in this movie is from Breaking Bad?
No one in this movie is from Breaking Bad.
Okay.
Just drop Breaking Bad, put it on your
All right. All right. Okay.
At least I don't think. But there's a lot of famous actors in this movie, a lot of which had like their first couple big roles. So John Belushi, he's Bluto. He's from the Blues Brothers. He's
Right.
the one that's not Dan Aykroyd.
Right. I couldn't tell either
Donald
of those guys
Sutherland,
apart. Okay. Mm-hmm.
the professor.
Right.
Do you know who do you know him? Did you recognize him?
No. Why would I recognize him from?
He's in a bunch of shit. He's still around today. He was in the Hunger Games. Hunger Games.
Haven't seen it.
Never seen this? Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Have you seen Pride and Prejudice?
Nope.
Oh my god.
Dude, like, dude, do we
Assuming...
have to
Oh
do-
wait, The Invasion of the Body Snatchers. That's a movie that you know.
It's
He's
a movie
in
that I
that
know.
movie.
Haven't seen it, but it is good to know. I have at least a little connection point. Thank you. Don't give me that.
I'm trying to think of what else you might know him from. Let me scroll through. He's a very famous. I mean, one of like a absolute movie star.
Listen, I don't know what Jim Belushi's in. I don't know what Dan Aykroyd's in.
First off, John Belushi, not Jim Belushi.
No, you're right. My bad. Is Jim Belushi a different guy?
Jim Belushi is his brother.
Okay.
Yeah, it's his brother.
Oh.
Jim Belushi is from what's that fucking TV show? According to Jim, you'd recognize him. He looks like John Belushi, but like more like a shitty sitcom dad. Hang on, I'm sending you a pic.
Jim. I'm looking up
Google
according
it,
to
yeah.
Jim. Yeah.
You'll be like, oh right, it's like the prototypical like shitty dopey guy married to a smoke show wife sitcom.
Oh wait. Oh yeah. I always thought this guy was Bill Murray. I'll be honest with you.
Oh my god, Bill Murray just punching the air right now with you saying that.
Wow, what a movie or what a TV show. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what other things you'd know Donald Sutherland from. I guess maybe nothing.
Yep.
Anyway, he's a really famous actor.
I'll take your word for it.
Have you seen The Mask?
I have seen The
movie
Mask.
The Mask.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, the guy who plays Boone, who's like the curly-haired guy.
Yeah.
It was killing me because when we started watching it, I was like, what is this guy from? Like, I was like, is he in like Goodfellas or something? Like, what? I could picture him playing a cop of some sort. He plays the cop, like the main, like, whatever,
Like the police chief or whatever.
lieutenant
Yeah.
in The Mask. And he's like, when he does, what's the, Cuban Pete, when he does that dance sequence?
That's with him.
I was like trying to place. I was like, what is he from? I could picture him like in a GIF or like whatever, like so perfectly, but could not place him. I had to look him up.
Yeah, I would have never
Bruce
placed that.
McGill,
Like, I don't know, on my list. Got to my head.
I have a sick thing in
Yeah.
my head for that kind of stuff.
Oh! I thought your next point. You were
No,
like,
no,
I've
not
got a
for this
sick,
guy. No.
sick thing in my head that I'm about to say. Like,
No, I am not thirsting for anyone in this cast. We are relieved from duty for that.
Thank
For this
Christ.
episode. Bruce McGill is like, he plays a Southern lawyer in like 15 different courtroom drama movies.
You
that
know,
you've seen. He's
speaking
in
of-
Shallow Hal.
Speaking of McGill, I think that's isn't that James McGill? Isn't that what's his face's name? Isn't that Breaking Bad? Slippin'
What are you
Jimmy.
talking about?
Fuck, what's his name? Better Call Saul. Saul Goodman. That's his real name, right? Am I crazy?
Oh, I have not seen Better Call Saul, so
Okay. Neither have I.
sorry.
But no.
Okay,
You're fine.
cool. Well, okay, I won't go through the rest of the various character actors that you might recognize, but
That
Kevin
I
Bacon,
won't
you surely
recognize.
know.
That I definitely will not recognize. Like,
But you do know Kevin Bacon.
I've heard the name Kevin Bacon. Yes.
Oh my god. Okay.
You
Why
know-
do you host a movie podcast?
We used to have 15 years ago. We used to have Kevin Bacon. I can't even. I don't know the rest of it to tell you.
20 years ago, we had Kevin Bacon. I don't even know. Is there anyone else in this cast who has a noun for a last name? I do like that this movie makes fun of guys with a guitar.
Yeah,
party.
yeah. It does that well.
That's a
too.
good-
Yeah.
That's a good, like, that must have been...
Him smashing that
cutting-edge
guitar
humor.
was good. That was good stuff. You know.
Well, it's funny because it's such a tired joke now. The like guy who plays Wonderwall at the party,
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
back then it was new. You know, that was like
Yeah.
a new guy they created or like coined.
And you know what? To hate on a guy so new after its creation is bold, right? Most people, everyone's going along with it. They're like, "Oh, a new guy? I can't wait to go along with this shit," right? And then you go along hating. And I mean, people generally respect that, I guess, right? Because it's like, damn, like look at this guy's starting up something new over here. He's hating. Crazy
Do you
that
think we
never
could come
really.
up with a new kind of guy to hate on right now?
A new guy to hate on
Like, do you think
right now
we're
out of
smart
nothing.
enough to?
Oh,
Oh, I have one.
Hit
It's the
me
kind
with
of guy who won't stop trying to help you when he offers you help
Oh,
with something.
perfect. Yeah.
But then he keeps trying to help. Fuck
But
that
he's like
kind of
making
guy.
the situation worse, and you're like, no, like really,
Yes.
I just need
I got
you
it.
to,
I'm carrying my
like,
groceries.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you don't need to hold the door. I've got it.
I just have to screw this one piece in. Let me screw in the other one. No, you're unscrew. That's the other. No, well.
You're making it worse. If you're that
Making
kind
the
of
whole day
guy,
worse.
turn off this podcast.
Yeah, turn it off right
Yeah,
now.
go to church.
We don't want you listening. You're making us
Yeah.
worse.
How about making out on Lover's Lane? You know, like in general. Like, why doesn't that happen anymore?
Yeah.
Is it
yeah.
because it's fucked up and weird to make out in a row of cars where everybody else is getting laid alongside you?
No, what? That is a time-honored tradition, and you have to do it like out
That doesn't
overlooking the
happen
city.
anymore.
And there's like.
Which, have you ever... Go ahead.
I was just gonna say there's like no one else around. But then a cop car pulls up and like they start like knocking on the backs of the cars. Of like, obviously it's teens who are fucking. Like, why are you? I don't know. Just fuck off, man. All right. Anyway.
Have you ever been to the lookout above...
No.
I believe that name.
No.
Yeah, there's one up there that, like, it's a cute place during the day. Like, during the day, there's, like, a hiking trail and everything, but then
At night.
you know, at night, it's definitely a place where people go to make out, like,
Yeah.
teens and shit.
Yeah.
Because it does have the overlook above, you know, the city.
Do you remember? Do you know the two smoke spots in by the Weiss? Please bleep.
There's two.
Yes.
Yeah. I would guess that it's just in the Weiss parking lot because that Weiss doesn't give a fuck.
No, that's where
I shoplifted so much shit from that Weiss in my day.
That's where drug deals take place. I do too, but I usually only put something. I just keep it in like the bottom rack and I just push it out. But
In Minecraft.
in Minecraft, back before they like redid like the walking path, and even for a little while afterwards, there was just like a fucking like huge overgrown area that there was this thin like trail through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The big field behind the
Yeah. So there's a
grocery
big
store, like,
field,
between...
and then there was like a big overgrown area, and then like the parking lot and shit, right? So in that overgrown area, there was like one walking path that you could take.
Oh, that cut between the two buildings. Yeah,
Right.
I know what you're talking about.
So like
Oh, drugs.
part of that like goes into like there was like a little branch off section that you could walk through, and then there was just like a little tiny like alcove for people to do drugs in there.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. And then they cut down all of that area. It's all gone. And then the other place was up above the looks or whatever it is, or like the peak, the
Yeah.
heights, whatever. You know, the blank, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's nice, but they put up a fence. It like used to have like a nice like it wasn't like a full overview, but like you could see like all of downtown, and you could see like when the sun set or rose, beautiful color. And then they put up a fence, and now it's like kind of shitty. So
Lame.
yeah, hate the direction going, but it's whatever. It happens. It's no biggie.
They just opened up a comic book shop in the plaza by that Weiss.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Wait, oh that's crazy.
That was a horrifying face that you just made. Ew. I'm gonna screenshot that and make it the podcast cover art.
Great.
If you don't stop. Face reveal.
No,
Just
please.
the most horrendous
God,
face.
no. I look like a crook did
yeah,
in
they
every
opened it
photo.
up.
Yeah, that's sweet.
No, you don't.
Mm,
We've taken good enough photos of you.
let's keep it moving.
But no, I don't know. Making out in a car because of a lack of other places to go, and then like being in a row with a bunch of other people, it just sounds awful.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do. I mean, around other people.
You don't
got
gotta do that, actually.
Yeah, you have to set up around other people, but
You don't have to hand it to them.
but you do not in fact have to hand it to. But like especially when you're like living at home, right? And it's like maybe only one of you has a car. Like I don't know. I think that's the perfect middle ground because like neither of you can like go to the other person's house, right?
I guess I'm not opposed to car fooling around in general.
All
it's
right,
the
okay,
it's the
okay.
let's go to the communal fuck spot that I don't like.
No, I can agree with that. I mean, I've always thought it was like weird in general. All right, like I think like orgies and that sort of thing are just like odd in general. Like swingers,
Really?
sex parties. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a little.
Oh.
Yeah, It's not my thing.
I didn't know you were such a prude.
I am, yeah. It's kind of disgustingly so. Not like if, I mean, if it's your thing, like whatever. I'm not gonna like shame you for
Not
it.
that there's anything wrong with that.
yeah. Not that there's anything wrong with
I'm
that.
not gonna shame you for it, but I think it's fucking disgusting, and I never understood it.
Not that it's disgusting. It's just really not my thing. Like, it doesn't get me going at all.
Sure.
It doesn't get my rocks off. So like I've had friends be like, "Oh yeah, dude," and like we were fucking like in the same room, like it was pretty cool. I was like, "Yeah, like that's pretty."
You're just
cool,
telling
man.
yourself that because you had no choice.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
in a dorm.
I'm like, dude, like you're just living in dorms together, man. It's like, yeah, but you know, it's kind of sick, right? And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's not even like you're in a foursome. You're just like having sex adjacently.
Right. Which is just, I don't know, weird. Personally.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Which
but...
same thing applies to like you're in cars next to each other, you know, having sex, or even just making out. It's just at the same point, like.
Yeah. True. John Belushi looks 40 years old in this. He does not look like a college-aged undergrad.
No, he does not. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
He's only like 28 when they filmed this, so he's like not that far out of the age, especially because he makes the throwaway joke of like, oh, 7 years of college down the drain.
Yeah, that was
really
a good
funny.
one. I thought that was funny. Yeah.
But yeah, that's a
Some of the
rough-looking
throwaway lines.
29. Yeah.
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 Sheesh. He's still kicking?
No.
Ah,
John Belushi died kind of, I think, in the same way that Chris Farley died. I think he also died from a speedball.
Sheesh.
Very young. Yeah. Yeah. He died in the 80s, like right after Blues Brothers, basically.
Well, you know, they say only
a
the
shame.
good die young.
Sure.
Gonna live forever over
Yeah.
here. Only the good die young. Sure.
Do you like Billy Joel?
I mean, I don't hate him. Why?
I'm just curious.
You not a biller? You not a joeler?
I've seen him in concert. I think
Oh,
Billy
okay.
Joel is like a litmus test. Not because, I mean, my
That's like
mom,
such a pause
shout out,
there.
Shout out Lori.
Shout out
Actually.
Lori!
Shout out my mom. I won't.
Woo!
Oh yeah, I'll bleep that name. Maybe, I don't know. Shout out my mom, who I recently found out is like full on QAnon on Twitter. But you know.
Give me one sec.
Oh, great time to leave and go feed the cats, Ricky.
I'm not feeding the cats. I'm just letting Oreo in.
My mom was once the world record holder for most radio wins, like radio contest wins, because she's deranged. So I've been to like probably close to 100 concerts, not just like shows at my local bar, but like, yeah, like I've seen, like, if there was a classic rock band touring between the years of like 2006 and 2014 in Detroit, I was there. Like I saw the Creedence Clearwater Revival. I saw.
How have you never mentioned this before? That is such a fucking insane piece of lore.
I've seen Maroon 5 8 times. That's
All right,
not a joke.
I knew that.
That's not an
I knew that.
exaggeration.
Yep. Nope. I knew that. That one I knew. Because your mom likes Maroon 5. I've heard that before.
Yeah, I saw Billy Joel and Elton John when they were doing a tour together. I've seen Journey multiple times. I've seen Styx multiple times. I've seen Foreigner multiple times. I saw fucking what's his name, Ted Nugent. Rip to me. He's alive, but
Can you even listen to like their music anymore without being like, man, better in concert? Like, this shit sucks. Or, like,
a lot of these
recording.
guys were not better in concert. I would say.
Okay.
I saw. Do you know the song "I Ran" by A Flock of Seagulls?
I ran so far away. Yeah.
That one, yeah. I saw them. So
I
went to a lot of concerts.
Speaking of concerts, I am trying to get a few friends to go to the Fleet Foxes concert that's happening in Harrisburg on June 23rd. If you would like to be a part of that. Or if you're already
do you
going.
want to help me move? Because it's literally a block away from my house.
Oh,
So.
that's sick. Are you moving that weekend?
I'm moving that week. Man, this fucking, the city's kicking my ass. Not even the city. It's just the the cat calling. I get street harassed every single time I leave my fucking house. It's insane. Yeah, I'm over it.
I would be too.
I was walking home from the movie theater, eating a slice of pizza, dressed in like a t-shirt and slacks, no makeup, hair a mess, greasy, pizza, like eating a slice of pizza, like
oh yeah, that's the good
buttery
stuff. Yeah,
pizza
like
grease,
one hand,
dribbling,
it's just dribbling down,
which I love.
Oh yeah, hell
you
yeah.
know, eating a slice of pizza on
I was
the
doing
street
that earlier
is
today.
one of life's little like pleasures. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I was doing that, you know, again, pizza grease just like on my shirt, like I was a mess.
Yeah, like all down
And
the arm
some guy-
too. It's just like dripping. Like,
Basically, yeah, I looked like a fucking sludge monster. And a guy got out of his car and started to follow me and talk to me, and then got mad when I like told him not to talk to me.
Wow.
I'm like, I look as much like a gremlin as any human could possibly at this moment, like, and it doesn't fucking matter. Anyway, Billy Joel, I think, is a litmus test for how cool a person is. If you like them, well, you know. But anyway, rest in peace,
you
John
know,
Belushi.
you're just not cool. I don't know. I like Billy Joel. Fuck you. I think he's cool.
Go ahead. I didn't say any. I didn't say which way. You know.
The way that's implied. That's implied, Lane.
Back to this movie. I will say, sounds like John Belushi in this movie, or somebody in this movie, is from Harrisburg. Did you catch that? They said, like, from Harrisburg, like, so-and-so is down from Harrisburg. Because this movie's set in Pennsylvania.
Yes, yeah. I could tell it was set in Pennsylvania, not because of Harrisburg, but they mentioned other places that I was, like, specifically, like, Pennsylvania. And I was like, oh, you wouldn't know this unless you were, like, from the area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, when they say Harrisburg, I, like, jumped out of my seat and did, like, the Leo pointing at the TV.
I think they did. I think they said like Rolling Ridge or something like that, and I was like,
yeah, probably. In this movie, John Belushi, when he's like eating, and before the food fight,
yeah,
also very similar to the Blues Brothers, like that same kind of like humor, just like more gross out in this one. In Blues Brothers, they're very like, just kind of rude and boorish. This one's like gross. But just same. It felt like a lot of the bits got recycled or like upcycled.
Yeah.
For Blues Brothers in this movie. Yeah.
Are you talking about the like?
Yeah, when he's like, what
spits
am I?
food
A
onto them?
zit?
Yeah. I don't know. Just kind of gross. Yeah, it wasn't like, I don't know. Not even.
Wasn't funny.
It wasn't funny. No. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you like weird, gross out movies? Like, I think of like Old School, or I don't know. I guess 40-Year-Old Virgin I haven't seen, but like, yeah.
Haven't seen Old School. Haven't seen 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Step Brothers.
Haven't seen Step Brothers. Is that a gross out movie?
I think there's elements of that kind of humor.
A lot of people really like that movie. I don't know.
I don't know. This is not my area of expertise, so.
I'm a little squeamish about like, just like gross. It's like textures. I don't like textures, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know. There's just like some. I'm fine with a lot of stuff, and then there's just some stuff that I'm like, nah, this is weird. Specifically, like when he spat that shit, it just was like gross. I don't know. That's been in your mouth. It's also I don't know. It's like disrespectful. That shit just, it's weird and gross.
Yeah.
I don't know. Didn't love this movie because of that. Just
yeah.
The amount of times I was like,
That's fair.
like this is just a little weird and gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eating something out of the garbage is just not inherently funny.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
feel you.
You know, and I think maybe there's like funnier ways to like pull off some of this stuff to like show how gross someone is, right? I don't know. Or to tell you about.
Well, and it's like,
I don't know. Huh.
yeah, like you're saying, like it's like, okay, this is about showing how like much they contrast, basically, like especially the Jim Belushi character with these like preppy guys, but it's like, it's not really funny. The humor, the best humor of it doesn't come from like how outlandish these guys are in comparison, but from the ways that they get back at these guys, and like,
right.
So like emphasizing how like disgusting their living situation is, or like the kind of shenanigans they get up to that are just like whatever, like what's the word I'm looking for? Not deranged. It's a D word.
Derelict. I don't know.
No. Depraved. Not depraved. Fuck.
Uh-huh.
Anyway. Degenerate.
Ah,
I was like, it's a word that people use on Twitter to like describe gay people. But like
that's a word that people use to describe like video game players.
Well, that too. But like, yeah, I mean, these guys, yeah, they're like
They're fucking degens out here. They're into my games,
they'd be playing
Lane.
video games, yeah. So I guess, yeah, it's just it takes away from it. I would much rather see them pulling more pranks instead of just like,
Right.
like eating hard-boiled eggs out of garbage or whatever,
Yeah,
causing
yeah.
food fights.
I would also like their pranks to be funnier. Like
Yeah.
base. Like
The
at their-
obituary, like when they go to the to pick up the girls because they're like they find a dead girl.
Oh yeah, yeah,
in the
yeah,
newspaper.
yeah.
That was crazy. I was like, no way are they really doing this. That was maybe the most shocking.
I
thing
will
of the whole
say,
movie. It's
that-
funny.
That also got a laugh out of me when they're sitting there, and he's like, I just don't think I can be alone tonight. And she goes,
Yeah.
I'll go get my coat. And he goes,
He's like,
could
bring
you
three
also bring some
friends.
friends?
That is funny.
That's funny. That's good stuff.
Yeah. But then, like, yeah, the like hitting golf balls at the like the military guys, like that's not really that funny. Yeah, the horse thing, like, is shocking, I guess, or like absurd, but not really that funny.
Yeah, I'm
Definitely
surprised
not
that
what it's
got
going
you.
for
That
as
was
fun.
like not like that didn't even show up on my radar.
Again,
I was like,
it's not. It's not that like I think it's funny to shoot a horse. It's more like the specific way that it was shot, and then like the joke after the fact of them hacking it up to like get it out of the office is funny. Like that's
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
Did you ever watch any of the Adult Swim like late night absurdist horror comedy like shorts, like Too Many Cooks or unedited footage of a bear? Like, did you ever watch any of those?
So Too Many Cooks actually just hit 10 years old.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. Yeah, I used
Have you
to
seen it?
watch some of that stuff. Yeah. Or at least
It was
the
that kind
like
of humor, or like it
the
got,
like 25
yeah.
minute Too Many Cooks thing was like,
yeah.
I don't know
Yeah,
if there's
yeah.
anything else.
No,
to it,
that's
but
exactly
yeah,
it.
yeah. Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah, no, where it's just like the
Many
intro
Cooks.
and
yeah,
they introduce.
yeah, and it gets
yeah,
more and more
yeah.
like dystopian. Yeah, and they like break through the.
It's good.
It gets meta and dystopian.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that sort of stuff's funny. I Adult Swim, I think, honestly, just by embracing so many different like artists and creators, they really hit their stride with like the amount of like weird shit that they're able to put out there.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, also like again, like we're just because of like the time that this movie came out versus now. Like, I'm sure if I had watched this movie then with like the media,
It would have
that
been the
was
funniest
available
thing
then.
in the world.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
shit would have me like dying. I'd be hooting and hollering in my seat.
Yeah.
I'd be kicking shit. I'd be throwing popcorn. It'd be crazy. But like now with like how far we've come with like absurdist humor and just with like I don't
Yeah.
know, comedy in general is like maybe not better now, but like there's like a bunch of different
different.
ways to make people laugh. Right? It's very different.
Yeah.
Very different landscape, and it's also like a lot less shitty to like
Yeah.
people
to women and
to
people
women
who
and
outplay it,
minorities to just like people in general. It's a
Yeah.
lot less shitty. Or
Yeah.
I mean, like even like the jokes that they were making, like the self-deprecating jokes Jim Belushi would make and shit. I don't know.
John Belushi, not Jim.
You're right. My bad.
But yeah,
yeah.
You're good. No, this movie ends with a rape joke. I mean, one of the last like title cards is like he got raped in prison, and it's like, oh, this was the laugh line. Like the joke was just that this guy got raped.
And it's like that, and then the like right before the last like verbal line said is also a rape joke. She's like, Dad, this is the guy that molested me, and it's like, what
Yeah.
the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's gross, especially because like
We've just
Oh,
come
and
far.
then there's
We've come
the-
far as a society, right? To be able to have like
Yeah.
funny movies, much funnier movies, and like they're just not like weird as fuck. I don't know.
Well, and I compare this to Blues Brothers, which came out like 2 years later, and then American Werewolf, which is a year after that, I think. And like those two movies don't. I mean, they have some like sexist attitudes, but they do not have that kind of humor, and so it's very stark. And I
Blues
want to
Brothers
credit
even
it to
plays it like satirically. But sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. No. Yeah, so
What would
I
you
mean, I
credit
know
it
that
to?
this had a different team of writers.
Yeah.
Yeah, just I would credit it to the different writers, and then the just like the setting. Like, right, if you set something in a frat house, it's going to be
Right.
misogynistic. Like, there are
And
going to be
raunchy,
rape
yeah,
jokes,
they're
right?
gonna have to do that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And especially like the very first like frat house movie, I feel like they kind of have to, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I will say the National Lampoon writing comes in, I think, for some of just like the like obviously unnecessary like, you know what, let's throw some tits in there. It'll be good. This is good filmmaking.
It's crazy.
Because I feel like they did that in every movie.
Yeah.
At least I remember like one. I might have only actually seen the one, like the Christmas Vacation or something. But like the dad was like skinny dipping with just some random woman at like a hotel,
Sure.
and I was like, all
Yeah.
right. And like I was a kid, and I was like, I don't know, man. But-
Yeah, it feels like you guys just wanted to see some boobs.
yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
I think as
Although,
a kid, I was
okay.
more like, I get to see titties.
You
Little-
are making the most disgusting faces. Every week is a new disgusting face with you.
Oh my God.
No, okay,
It's like the Mario face maker. Like you can like pull in the. Sorry. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, nice! Hello, Mr. Mario. I think your video has like a couple seconds delay because like
Oh, sure.
I was like waiting for a
Like
second.
moving in.
Yeah. No, it's just like there was nothing, and then you were like, I was like, oh, okay. The tactical Mario roll.
Okay, so I think one movie that probably is one of the closest parallels to this that you might have seen is American Pie.
Haven't seen it. So
Really? That's where the fucking the pie comes from.
I
that we were just
know.
talking about in the
I
group chat.
know.
Which hang on.
Okay, I'm
hang on.
hanging.
So listeners, would you rather fuck the Dune popcorn bucket, buttered up, size doesn't matter, or
whoa, hey.
a warm, not burning apple pie? These were August's rules. Shout out August.
All right.
These were August's
I didn't know if it
rules.
was going to be buttered up or not. I didn't know if we could provide our own lube
It's definitely
for it.
buttered up.
And by size doesn't
Why wouldn't
matter.
we be
I
able to?
assume that, like, you know. Also, I don't know how far those little tendrils go down. I'm just saying, if that thing was full of tendrils, I don't think
It's
it would be
one
the
layer
worst.
of tendrils.
I don't think it would be. It's only one layer of tendrils.
Yeah, it's like you reach in and
No,
it's
there's got to
just,
be like
we're
two
so
or three.
late talking
There's
about this.
no way there's only one
No,
layer of
it's
tendrils
just,
there.
I'm pretty sure it's just one.
That's
I'm pretty sure
crazy.
Dog is just
I can't
one.
really see it. The picture,
Yeah.
it's so small. And...
I'm gonna, yeah. No, I'm pretty sure it's just the one layer.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I revised my answer then.
No chance.
I don't know.
No
That's kinda
chance
crazy.
it's not warm apple pie.
I thought it was a few layers. I'll be honest with you. I thought you'd be able to get a little something going on there. You feel me?
No,
No.
I don't think so. I
No.
think it's like a cock ring,
All right.
basically.
Now, why did you say if you were going with the strap, you'd pick it then? Because you think it'd be more fun.
Because it would be more fun to fuck, I think, if I were going at it with the strap. Just like, it's got more
It's like less awkward,
responsiveness to it.
Right? Like the pie feels
Maybe,
awkward.
I guess.
Like I don't know. It's like a circular. I don't know. I think it's a little odd to me.
If it was like a
Also-
piece of pie in like a container, like that was like smashed up, that would be better. Like if it was like in a like a wonton soup
Yeah.
container,
Or like
and then you could like
like a Prego jar, you know, like a little jar of sauce. Really, if it's just the pie filling in that, because the crust, like I don't know, I'm a little skeeved out by the crust, and I'm a little skeeved out by like the fact
but
that
not
there's.
by the popcorn.
Well, I'm not gonna fuck it while there's popcorn in there. What the fuck, dude?
It's after the popcorn's out of there. Yeah, okay, that's the thing. When August first asked about it, I was like, "Is there popcorn in there?" Because I can't imagine a worse feeling than
No, that'd
popcorn
be
on a penis.
horrible, bro. Yeah.
That'd be awful. It'd be
Fuck.
so dry.
You get like the
It feels
little
so-
edge of the kernel, right? Like the little
Just
right
like in
into
your
the fucking
teeth,
head of your
but in
penis.
the
Like
urethra.
you get it like stuck into the urethra. Yeah. You try to like floss it out. No, dude, not having it. But with apple pie, right? It's like cinnamon, like cardamom, allspice.
Yeah, you get a little
might get some of
spice
that
in
up
there. It's like
That's not a
yeah,
good thing.
yeah.
That's not a good thing. A.
No, it's
And
like when you
B-
take Mentos first and then you suck it down. It's like the sensory experience.
It's like when you pop an ice cube in your mouth and then you go at it, right? You have to
Yeah,
hold
yeah.
these-
Whoa, Ricky started the whole hand gesture with doing that. That was way more than I needed to see.
All right, what it feels like to chew 5 gum and blow a cock. Anyway, pulling it back. Also, like, there's apple slices in there, and like, I don't know. I've had apple pies like not fully like make the apples like soft enough. There's a wide range. I wouldn't trust it. Also, I don't trust the temperature. Just throwing that out there. If I see a pie, especially an apple pie, I'm gonna think it's hot, and if it's hot, it's gonna burn my dick. Once is enough. Never again. Throwing it out there.
So, American Pie, I think, is a movie that was
Go on,
influenced
yeah.
by this one.
Right.
And I wanted
Definitely.
to bring this up because this isn't the first movie with a MILF in it, but it seems like the first comedy with a MILF.
Right.
Or like the first, like, isn't it funny that there's MILFs? Similar to American Pie. And yeah, like the like leopard print walls, like in the guy's bedroom when they sleep together, is just, it's nasty.
No, that's sick.
The whole like layout of the apartment is gross. He's got like 15 bongs like hanging on the wall, like arranged.
Yeah, the
I've
guy.
seen apartments like that.
Yeah, he's living the fucking dream. My favorite was always the hazmat with like the bong thing attached.
Oh my god.
Seen many of those.
Talk
in
about
college.
degeneracy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Trust me,
Um,
I could have co-authored the book. Anyway, they're like peer reviewed, right?
What do you think about the parade
I don't know. It was like an okay
at
scene.
the end?
It was like an okay scene. I
Yeah.
guess.
I felt like it dragged on forever, and it like
Yeah.
never crescendoed. Like it never like
Yeah.
really like, I hate again. I keep
They made-
comparing this to Blues Brothers, but it's just like that, And there's like little bits that are funny, but it never like comes together and like, climaxes. I guess.
My problem with that scene was just the fact that like several times like the characters would be like, "Whoa, isn't this so crazy? Like, this is so great. Everything's so crazy." And it was just not that crazy. And I don't know. It's
true.
like watching a YouTuber like fucking clickbait. They're like, "Whoa, guys," and then right like. Something's gonna happen. You watch 5 more minutes, right? Don't forget to like and subscribe. Whoa, we got the crazy stuff coming.
Yeah, we're gonna put marbles out, and then people are gonna trip on them.
Yeah. There's like, oh, they're getting closer. Like,
okay. So this movie's supposed to take place in the early '60s, I think.
Okay.
And the JFK float with the girls on them that are dressed like, what's her face?
Monica, or
Jesus,
no,
why can't I-
Marilyn Monroe.
Not Monica. No.
Marilyn Monroe, isn't it Marilyn Monroe?
No, I'm thinking Jackie Kennedy, the pink suit that she's wearing. They're all dressed in the suit that she's wearing when he got his head blown off.
Yeah. I didn't think about that. You're right.
I thought they were gonna do something with that, but they didn't. It was like that was enough, just acknowledging it. Or showing that.
I mean,
But,
that would have been
yeah.
crazy sacrilegious for the time too, and also like more temporally relevant than right now, or like temporarily
Yeah.
relevant.
Yeah. Well, it's funny too that they're like the whatever dean is like, you guys, I've let your officers know that you're eligible for the draft again. It's like, oh, fuck. Like that's way too heavy for this movie.
Is that like a Vietnam War draft dodgers joke?
Yeah. No,
Like,
it's because it's set during the Vietnam War, right? So it's like
Oh
that's
my
the
God.
yeah. It's just that they're if you were in college, you didn't have to draft. So
Yeah. I guess the 7 years joke also sort of feeds into that. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Anything else, I guess, about this movie?
I got nothing. I didn't think I had much coming into it. The movie was just okay.
Yeah, we had even less than we thought. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm surprised we
Yeah,
pushed
the-
it this long, Lane.
Me too, a little bit. So, yeah.
What would you rate it?
I haven't rated it yet. I'll probably either do 2.5 or 3. You know, I'm glad I watched it, but not for me. Probably was
Yeah.
great at the time.
You know what? Honestly, right about the same for me. 2.5 or 3. I honestly, this is one of the first movies that like I've watched, and specifically watched like with the pod, where I've been like, oh, this is like not deserving of a like 3-4 star. Like, oh, like this is like a good film by default.
Yeah.
Sort of rating. So, which is surprising for me personally.
2.5 is only 1/2 star better than you would have rated The Last Airbender.
And you know what? I stand by it. I'm just throwing that out there.
Okay,
I didn't think
that's
this movie
fine.
was
That
like
just means
particularly
that movie.
good either. But anyway.
No, I didn't think so either. But you know, I'm just pointing out your insane takes here. This movie's on Netflix. Put it on while you do laundry or bake a cake like I did.
Not bad.
This week is a Rick's pick.
It is a Rick's pick. Rick does not have a pick lined up, so he is.
Well, guess what? You got a letterbox for that. I will offer something to you.
Mm-hmm.
If you're willing to forgo a Rick's pick. If you
Okay.
want to revisit this podcast's roots a little bit,
Okay.
Alien is re-releasing in theaters next weekend. Next weekend only. I already checked. It is playing at one of the local theaters to you. So if you wanted, we could do that. But we don't have to. I know that's a movie we've both already seen. Might not have interesting things to say beyond this movie fucks.
Next weekend?
Yeah, like a week from today.
I could make that work for sure.
But look at your list first and decide. Because we don't have to do that.
I thought I had a note about a movie, but I cannot find it now. Lane, have you ever
Yes.
seen The Devil Wears Prada?
Oh, yeah. I like that movie.
You want to watch it?
Yeah, we can watch it.
Cool. All right.
Have you seen it?
I have not.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I saw a
What
thread.
made you want to pick it?
I saw a thread where somebody
Oh.
said, "Hey, I have a very hot take for who I think the real villain of The Devil Wears Prada is."
Oh.
And then I did not open it up because I was like, okay.
Oh,
I'll
that
wait
that
for
tweet
later.
is definitely tweet's
Ironic.
definitely yeah, because
Okay.
people often joke about people have been saying that for years, so that person was definitely being like, hey guys, I have this really hot take about
Yeah,
how
yeah,
Inception's
yeah.
actually about whatever.
Yeah.
But it's still a good movie. I'm still down to watch it.
All right, cool.
I haven't seen it in years. So.
Sweet. Okay. So next week?
Do you have the info for this movie pulled up? Can you do a proper send-off to We Want to Watch?
The Devil Wears Prada, Adam Eve wears Nada, and I'm somewhere in between looking way more fresher.
The fuck did you just call me?
I'm way less pressure.
Should we just rip burps into the mic for our...
No, my burps are really weak right now.
Okay.
I don't know if you're hearing it. I'm doing little tiny bubbly burps. Next week we want to watch The Devil Wears Prada 2016, directed by David Frankel.
Not 2016. Try that year
2006. Next week we want to watch The Devil Wears Prada 2006 by David Frankel.
again. Cool.
All right.
How should we end this? Did we have a song earlier that we were joking about?
I mean, we could do The Devil Wears Prada, Adam Eve wears Nada.
What is that
Somewhere
from?
in between, but way less fresh, way more fresher. Way less pressure. It's a Kanye song.
Oh, well, okay. So you like... Never mind.
Oh, okay. So you like Kanye? Oh, okay. So you're a Nazi? Oh, okay.
I was definitely making a joke about a song earlier in this episode, and I can't.
We talked about Maroon 5.
Billy Joel.
We talked about Billy Joel. You talked about how much you hate me
Oh, what's the
personally.
song? What song did we sing? We were singing a song,
I know.
and I tried to hit the note, and I couldn't. And then you sang it, and you hit the note. I guess I'll listen back and hear it.
Fuck, man. Yeah, I don't know.
That sucks.
Yeah,
Oh, well, I'll
God
find something.
damn
I'll
it.
just send it with Yojimbo again.